Okay, so thanks for letting me do this. Let me jump right in because, as you can see, we're going to go on for quite a while. We got a bunch of different things that I check, 168 different things. And I could spend literally 10 hours going through this. I'm going to try to get it done hopefully in an hour to an hour and a half. So if I blow through something and you want more of an explanation on that point, just let me know and we can talk about it. We can chat about it. We can get on the phone about it, whatever you want to do. But I try to be mindful of you guys' time. Now, I wouldn't be giving you what you paid for if I just gave you a little 20-minute video. It's not complete. The idea with these audits is I give you enough information to where you can do it on your own if you want to. Of course, you can hire my company if you want to. My company's called Norzer, Norzer. You can find us at norzer.me if you need any help with anything. But I'm going to give you the information and I'm going to put the power in your hands so you'll be able to do this if you want. But as you'll see, it's very time consuming and you don't have to do all this stuff. I'm going to give you like every possible thing I can possibly think of, and then I'll highlight the things that I think are a higher priority, and just work with it. If you could commit, a few hours per week to it, even that would make progress. Now, keep in mind, this is something that takes months and months and months to get going. Right? You're not going to see results in a couple weeks generally. I mean, sometimes you do, but generally it takes, 3 to 6, 7 months to really start seeing progress with a lot of consistent work. So let me take a sip of water. So let's jump right in. So I think you're doing the right thing by focusing, even though you do national, you do have a Google business profile entry, which means you're a local business. You want to focus locally, and then you can expand your way out. So right now you're focusing on Brooklyn, Manhattan, except Nassau County, et cetera, et cetera. That's a good starting point. And then as you get that business, then you could change your service regions to like all of New York. Then you could add maybe New Jersey. And so a lot of people try to go from starting competing nationwide, and it's impossible. Just from a marketing point of view, it's impossible. So basically, you're doing it the right way, in my opinion. Some other people may have difference of opinion. So what you want to do is focus on small areas and in very specific niches. So if you could become, or niches, whatever. If you could become the expert for POS for Italian restaurants, that would be a cool landing page, because you can imagine somebody restaurant. I'm not saying this is what you want to do, but you can imagine somebody searching for Italian restaurant POS. If you don't mention explicitly Italian restaurant, well, let's say it this way. If you explicitly have a landing page or a dedicated page for Italian restaurant POS, there's a lot higher chance you're going to show up. Now, of course, that would turn into hundreds and thousands of pages, right? So what are your high dollar traffic items, right? So that's just an example. So let me get back here before I ramble on too much. So explain proximity, relevance, and prominence. And my cat is meowing. Let me pause it and give her a treat real quick. Okay, so you can read through the Google Search Rater Guidelines. If you just Google for Google Search Rater Guidelines, it's public information. They can tell you when Google hires or has humans rating results, what they look for, what they judge things on. So for local SEO, it comes down to proximity, relevance, and prominence. That's specific to local SEO. Now there's all the other ranking factors, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, web-page performance, et cetera, et cetera. But explicitly for local SEO, it's proximity, relevance, performance. So if you're a POS company in Brooklyn and somebody is searching from Brooklyn, you're very close to them. So you fit that first criteria. How relevant is the query? So if somebody searches for, financial services company, that's not, it is you, but the point I'm making is your niche is POS and payment processor. So that's relevant, but not as relevant. So if somebody searches for dog catcher, Brooklyn, that's not you, of course. You meet the proximity, but you don't meet the relevance. And how prominent are you? So what's your web footprint like? Are you in magazines? Do you have Yelp, et cetera, right? So the problem you're going to run into from a local point of view, it's almost impossible to rank locally consistently unless you have a physical address. Because there's nothing to, you're just a general business in a general area. So, I mean, I know it's I lived in Boston like 15 years ago for 10 years. I know it's insanely expensive, but if you're going to do it locally, you need to have some type of local presence. And I know that's a business decision, but is there like even a little bitty room? It can't be a co-location space, but is there like a little office you could rent for like a few $100s per month? I don't even know if that's even possible. I would do that. If not, it's going to be really hard to get in the map pack and to rank from a local point of view. So know that going forward. And we'll get into all that in a lot more detail. So this is just an overview. You said you bought backlinks. You can see right here, that's when it was. And the ones I looked at, I spent about 10 minutes. They're trash. They're not. Google has said over and over again that spammy backlinks are just ignored. We used to have to disavow them, but they've made it clear they don't do that anymore. They just ignore them if they detect they're spammy. You can see your domain rating did go up a little bit, but this is from Ahrefs. This isn't like a Google metric. This is their proprietary algorithm. So I'm sure Google, especially with AI now, man, it's detecting all this spam, this is very unnatural, right? So this wasn't a wise decision, but good news is this isn't 5 years ago and they're just being ignored. So looks like you did a little paid advertising here, and that'd be interesting to see how that went. And these are your keywords: payment processing, point of sale, merchant services. So let me show you a website I found that kept showing up over and over that's really doing a good job. So you need to put on your website the keywords, and it's not just really words, but the topics people are searching for. You can see how this EMS corporate has their solutions, dedicated pages for their solutions. And they have dedicated pages for their industries. And they have some partnership here stuff, which is really cool. So if you go to industries, eCommerce, it's real well put together. Let me turn off these notifications. Sorry about this. I guess I should have paused it, but let me just minimize this so I don't forget to turn it back on. Okay, look, it's very, it's got good imagery, and it's got good. That's a generic photo, which isn't any good, but it's still good. It still looks good. It looks clean. Whereas yours, first of all, you don't have those pages. But if you look at products, actually, this is good. I'm thinking more of the blog content. Looks like, I think a lot of this is just AI generated, which is okay, but it's going to be a lot. See, it's just all text. There's no images, and Google tends not to reward this stuff. You want to do, numbered lists, images, videos, etc., etc. But we'll get into all that a lot more. But what I really like about this site, so if I search for POS, hold on a second. I think my cat's going crazy again. Okay. And my right shift key is broken, so sometimes my typing will get messed up. POS company, Chicago. You can see what this company does: electronic merchant systems. Oh, now they're not ranking high. They were a second ago. Or maybe it wasn't Chicago. Well, interesting. So let's just do Brooklyn. This is the original one, Brooklyn, that I tested. Whoops, because you're there in New York, and you can see here a primary reason. Now they have a lot of good other factors, but you can see here they have a dedicated page to Brooklyn, and it goes over all their services. And I'm sure this is an SEO optimized page. So you want to build out all the places. So if you go to your Google, let's go to Piggy Bank Processing. Whoops. Let's go to Piggy Bank Processing. Let's do that. Then we'll get to GMB, and we'll go to Edit Profile. You want to build out so I call these landing pages, these location pages, whatever, for the places you're focusing on. So you can imagine people are typing in, POS company Brooklyn. But this company, so it has one for Brooklyn, it has one for Manhattan. It had one for Chicago earlier, unless I'm totally misremembering something. Right here, see? Electronic merchant systems. The interesting thing is, and this is actually not that uncommon, so you can look through it. It's really good. if you go to their homepage, let me get a sip of water here. There's no link to their location landing pages. So ideally, see, so they're kind of hidden, which is fine because they built those for the search engine. So ideally, you would have a location page, a master service page for accept payments, kiosks, or whatever your different offerings are. So let's go back up top. Products, point of sale, credit card processing, self-order kiosk, right? So let's just go to credit card processing. So you just have it embedded in this one page. You have to have a dedicated credit card processing page. That's SEO optimized with like keywords, topics, and I'll show you exactly how to do that here in a second. And now ideally, you would have a credit card processing page for Brooklyn, Manhattan. And as you can see, this leads to eventually you would have dozens or hundreds of pages. To start off with, I would just create a Brooklyn page like this. And you don't want it to be the exact same because Google doesn't like that. And then create, for start with your most relevant city. So that would probably be Manhattan. Then move out to, then make a Brooklyn page and make a Queens page and mention all of your services on those, right? So that's the way you'd want to do it. It's probably, if you do one thing, that's probably the most important thing I would do right now, or the highest priority thing. So I have this custom GPT that will actually help you build these landing pages out. So if you go here, and so this is my company page, and you can click here to get to this custom GPT. And as of, I think, yesterday, with GPT 4.0 that got rolled out, I think even if you don't have a paid GPT account, OpenAI account, or ChatGPT account, you can use this for free. If not, I haven't tested it, so you may have to pay for it. So you just put in what you're ranking for. POS, the page you're writing about, POS company, Brooklyn. And it'll start generating everything. And we're not going to sit and watch it because I actually did it, and I have a link here. So this is really good for creating landing pages, but it's also good for just general, even if you're not creating a landing page, you could still use this to get good information on the things you need to focus on for your website in general. So let's go back here. So this is the result. And I think if I remember correctly, I think I did POS Brooklyn. Oh, payment processor company in New York. Okay, so I didn't do New York City, I did New York. So this is a little intro, and it's saying on that page, this is how you'd want to, this is a framework for that page. Headline, subheading, about us, services offered. So your services offered, credit card processing, mobile payments, online transactions. So you could do this specifically for POS New York, right? POS Brooklyn. I should have been more specific with New York City or Manhattan or something, but you get the idea. So this is how to frame the page, and it's really cool. This is the entity. So from an AI NLP perspective, this entity, so this keyword, in a sense, payment processor company, which is what we're looking at here, these are the entities, so from an AI point of view, of topics and keywords that are closely correlated, closely related. So these are the topics and things you want to focus on when building this page. So you want to make sure you mention retail business, online stores, restaurants, B2B services, blockchain. Okay, so I don't see any mention of crypto, but that would be a really good niche to get in. So if you go to my company, it's going to be slow because I'm logged in. Norzer is Louisiana-based crypto-friendly digital marketing agency. I get a lot of people that contact me because they are searching for crypto-friendly SEO company, or they just come across my page and I explicitly say I'm crypto-friendly and they like that. So it's interesting to see here that blockchain is mentioned. So if you don't have any offerings around blockchain, that's something I would start looking towards, because from a Google search point of view, in Google's knowledge graph, these are things that are related to the keyword we're working on. Highly competitive. So this is attributes. Compliance. So these are things you want to talk about. Your PCI compliance. Your offerings are DSS compliant. GDPR. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Well, I guess it does. Everything has to do with that. But And this isn't 100%, right? This is a tool. This isn't the end-all be-all. This is a tool that's going to give you good information. And you have to, as an expert in this field, does it make sense? So attributes, contactless payment. So this is what you'd want to focus on. Cryptocurrency acceptance. I'm sure a lot of businesses are looking to accept crypto. I have a gig on Fiverr where I set up people's website to accept crypto payments, right? And I could do that for you, your WordPress website. I could do that for you, and you could start accepting crypto if you wanted to. Security trends, et cetera, et cetera. So this is all things to focus on. So these are, for this service landing page, Payment Processor New York, these are possible titles for the page that are SEO optimized. These are meta descriptions, right? And if you don't like any of these, you could say, give me 10 more meta descriptions right here. No, it didn't complete because it's going to say click continue. You could say, give me 10 more, and it'll do it, right? Okay, so these are the top 20 keywords for Payment Processing Company New York. New York credit card processing, okay, that's obvious. Payment solutions, interesting. E-commerce payment. So if you're not focusing on e-commerce, that's something you want to focus on. Payment gateway, so that's something you'd want to incorporate into the content. You want things to be secure. Contactless, we saw that above. So that you would just put all this stuff into a spreadsheet, right? B2B, I'm seeing cryptocurrency pop up over and over again. So these are keywords. These are NLP, highly related, but not necessarily the same. PCI compliance, so that's interesting. POS, online transactions. Want to focus on your customer support. So these are things that Google commonly sees all this stuff together for the keyword Payment Processor Company New York. So moving on. So H1. So H1s are where you want to put right here. It's that top header. This is where Google looks to find out what this content's about. It's critical that you put your main keyword in geo in that H1. So yours doesn't say it. So here, if we go here and go to diagnosis, whoops. Where's the header? Header right here. Your H1 is let us help your business grow. I like that. But that's something perhaps you could incorporate into the paragraph text. This should be New York payment processor, something a lot. Payment processing solution, something like that. Okay, let's go back. Where was I? Okay, we're back on the GPT. So these are ideas. See, New York's choice for professional payment processing services, empower your NYC business with reliable payment solution. This is all good stuff. So these are H2s. So H2s, you have your H1, then your H2s are going to be like other highly relevant categories that you want to focus on, but it's not the primary. So these are just ideas. So I haven't read these. Why choose us for payment processing needs? And that's really good. And so what you could do is take this and you could just tell GPT to write this section for you. Right? You don't have to come up with all this text yourself. This is all good stuff. So H3s are just further down. And sometimes H3s can be H2s and H2s can be H3s. Again, this is just a tool to start you thinking. So you could say, once you get it, you could say, I have this H2 and need summary text for it that is SEO optimized. Boom. And then it'll give you something. And so that would be, you'd want that section, like this should be an H2, and then this would be the paragraph text I'm talking about. See, right here. So, and you could say, give me 5 different examples. I also like to use Gemini, and I use Claude a lot too and compare and see what's best. Okay, so moving along. So H3s, you get the idea. So just use this tool. These are H4s. Okay, these are FAQs. I like including FAQs that Google expects with that keyword at the bottom of my text, at the bottom of my blog posts, and at the bottom of my landing pages. So this would be a good FAQ. This is a good one. So these are common questions. So these are the people also ask questions. In the Google search results, you see the people also ask. These are the ones I would focus on more so than these if you only have a few. I like to do between 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. So So this is a good one. All these are good. So just look through them. And of course, it can write it for you. And so these are n-grams. So it's not just like single word keywords. So what words or topics or phrases commonly appear next to the keyword we're searching on? New York business, mobile payment solution. So all these, you can see these are kind of repetitive. Fraud prevention, that's something we didn't see before, so that's something I would focus on. So if you're using Midjourney to create your images, so I had this article, I grew up a computer freak. I don't know if you know what a freak is. It's somebody that, basically was a, hack the phone system back I did it in the 80s and 90s until everything went digital. Let me just show you this. Okay, so you can see this article, which ironically doesn't rank well in Google, but ranks really good in Bing, international search engines, etc. All of these images were created, well, not that one, not that one, not that one, but more of these obscure ones, not that one, this one here. These were created using AI. AI, right? Okay, so this is real. I get so many good ideas from this little niche section. So this isn't just for this. This is really good. If you just had a website idea, you could plug your website idea in here and just scroll down here and get some good ideas. Spotlight on how local New York regulations influence payment processing. That'd be a good blog post. Benefits of partnering with the New York payments processor for local. So what's the benefits of partnering with you as opposed to Clover or a company that's, more national? Talking about tourism industry. Tips for New York startups choosing the right payment. This is all really good stuff. Security challenges, 5 content. So these are good 5 content ideas. Okay, then you can see after it created this, now based on all this information, it's going to create the actual outline. So you can see here, and now it's creating the actual outline. Credit card processing, mobile payments, e-commerce solutions, cutting edge technology. And then, of course, you want it to be a lot more detailed than this, but you could use AI to create this. FAQ section, footer, etc., etc. So that's that, right? So, yeah, you're free to use that. And I could just wrap up most SEO audits these days with just this, and people generally would be happy. But there's a lot more to it than that. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, so that's that. Now we're in a weird spot with AI, with SGE, Search Generative Experience. So if we search for Red Sox, of course it didn't do it. Why is the sky blue? Hopefully, right here, you're getting all this AI stuff up front. So a lot of search traffic across the board is going to go down because AI is answering so much stuff. So just keep that in mind, right? And Google just released AI overview today, and that's going to take even more traffic away. So rather than me clicking here, I'm just reading the summary here. So we're kind of in a weird transition state with SEO. Competitor, you can read through this if you want. Basically, I'm still working on this GPT. It did a competitive analysis. It's basically, oops, click there to get to it, but the results are here. Gave some pretty good information, but I'm kind of talk about all this as we go along anyway, because I did go to your competitor sites. Why is it not going? Here we go. Basically goes to your competitor sites and does give some advice. Use your unique selling proposition, blah, 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 blah. So you can look at that. It's good stuff, but I don't want to get too carried away. Local Falcon report. So Local Falcon, I can show you from your business location, payment processor company, you can see you're not ranking anywhere. You're ranking 17th here, but 19th here, like in the middle of the ocean, which is kind of funny, but everywhere else you're just above 20. Like here, well, this is interesting. You're 18, 16, so you're ranking, but if you're not on the front page, it's really you're just wasting your time. So a lot of that comes down to you not having an actual address, though. It doesn't know where to put you. Well, your website's not optimized at all either. Like I showed you with not having the landing pages for the cities and the services you offer. You kind of have like a one-page website. You do have more, but you know what I mean? You don't have things broken down like you should. And with POS company here, you can see you're not ranking anywhere at all, if I remember correctly. So you have a lot of room to grow. It's just, like I said, it's going to be really tough unless you can get a physical address somewhere. But I would, if you can, I would at least build those landing pages out. That's going to help. So when I search for, like I said, POS company Brooklyn, even if that, let's do Houston, even if that company didn't have an address, because you can see here, this company here again, because they have all these landing pages all over the country. So for you, I would focus New York, but then also if maybe take some of the bigger cities, Chicago, Los Angeles, wherever the big markets are, San Francisco, I'm sure it's huge, and build those out. Okay. Moving along. Topical authority map. So topical authority, you can use the GPT here. There's a few of them, but this is a really good one here. This is the content. You need to build up that core topical authority on your site. That's going to drive traffic. And I saw you start, it looks like you're starting to do it. It's just not enough there yet. And like I said, it's going to take months and months. It's going to drive traffic to your site. And in that content, of course, is where you upsell your services, which you don't do at all, if I remember correctly. So this is just some good topical authority content. Introduction to payment processing, types of payment processing, choosing a payment processor, and then you could fees. So these are all content ideas. I'm sorry. Yeah, good content ideas. This is going to show Google that you're an expert in payment processing because you have all this content built up around it. And it can't just be AI content. It's going to have to be AI content's good and it can rank, but AI should be used kind of as a tool. It used to be I would do everything manually and use software to tidy things up. So like 80-20, 80% manual, 20% AI. Now it's like 80% AI, 20% after I get everything, then I use 20% of my time to tidy everything up. So this is some good content ideas. This is what that means. Okay, so is there only one Google business profile entry? There is, so that's good. Spammy competitor listing. So if you look at, let's go to maps. So what happens is businesses will stuff keywords into their business name because it allows them to rank. So I looked at UpNexa, and in their Google, it says payments. Is that really their business name? On their website, that doesn't say that. It just says UpNexa. So they're getting a little extra, juice because payments is a good keyword. So I would probably, if this isn't their business name, I would report that and just have it change it to UpNexa. So you want to go look at that with all your competitors. You're verified, no errors. Category. So this is interesting. So if we go look at your, let me close some of this. It's starting to get nuts. So let's close everything to the right. Okay. So let's go to maps. So this is Google Business Profile, what I'm about to show you. So if we search for yours, Piggy Bank Payment. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is right because it's New York here. You can see your GBP category is financial institution and service establishment. Those are your two categories. And if we go to here and we go to, while it's loading, let me get a sip of drink. Financial institution. Okay, actually it's just, why is it showing? I guess it's throwing it there. Weird. Okay. So what I do is look for payment processing company or POS company or whatever. Let's just do New York. And you can use this extension called Plepper, P-L-E-P-E-R. So you can see, and this extension here, let me actually, this one, okay, the keywords, the categories, the extension that allows you to see the GBP, the Google Business Profile categories, is GMB Everywhere. I think it's still called GMB Everywhere. Yep, because it's used to be GMB, now it's GBP. So you can see the categories for all these businesses. But this, I like Plepper because it shows of these top results, these are the most common categories. So if your competitors primarily are using business to business, that might want to be what your primary category is. Financial consultant, maybe. Service admin is good. Financial institution. I don't know. I don't think that's what you are. I think of a financial institution as like a bank. So let's also do POS company. Let's just do like Los Angeles. I like to look at my competition and the big cities. When I'm doing research, I like to look at Boston, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Houston, because there's a lot of competition, obviously, for SEO competition in those cities. So business to business. So call biz POS, business to business service, office equipment supplier. So it looks like the most common thing is business to business service. So I think you're confusing Google by saying you're a financial establishment or whatever you put. Because here that's not even, unless I'm overlooking something, that's not even like a top anywhere. Let's do one more. Let's go to Chicago. And of course, we want to make sure that this is what we think it is. Like they provide POS systems like you do. Micro Center. That's probably more of a computer store. Micro Center. I don't know, but let's see. Software. So that's another one I see. Software company. So you don't want to do more than 4 or 5, but it looks like I would probably do business to business service first. You need to research it more. And I would look at your competitors. So if you go Clover, I think this is the Clover one. Anyway, I don't want to get too carried away, but most of them had business to business service. I think I would do that as the primary. Okay, moving along. Things will speed up as we keep going. So business info. So basically what this means is here, you want to make sure you include all of your rich keywords in your business, in your description. There's something called use what Google gives you. If they give you 750 characters, use close to it all. You want to use at least 700 or 650. And I would make sure we want to include, POS, payment processing, crypto, mobile payments, Brooklyn, Queens, et cetera, et cetera. All that stuff should go in there. Okay, your business name is not duplicative. You don't have an address. But like I said, it's hard to compete without an address. Phone number is good. I don't think your competitors are using a fake address. So this is something I don't know your competitors. So you just need to plug in their name to Google Business Profile or to Maps and look at the address they're using and determine if they're using like a home address or something. You don't want them to get that extra advantage of being a local business if they're not. So if they're using a home address or a co-location address, just report them. Super simple. Okay, where are we at? Okay, are you in the location? Okay, no address. Service areas. You do have service areas, which is good. Are service areas within 2 hours? Yes, but you don't have a home location, so we keep running into that problem. Hours. You list yourself as 24 hours. Now, it's kind of a dilemma because we're finding out more and more Google does. Well, first of all, Google doesn't like rewarding people for having fake hours. However, a lot of times it won't list results for businesses that it thinks are closed. So if somebody searches for your company at 8 p.m. and you show you're closed at 5, then you may not show up. So what I would do is do it like some pretty extreme stuff. I would do like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? You're not going to get everybody, but at least it does kind of look more legit. You're kind of a weird thing because you're not really like a restaurant or, a bank or something. You're a different breed. So I get why you're doing it, but I would change it. And it doesn't mean you won't show up in the organic results down here. It just means you're not going to show up in the map pack, the three map pack up there if you're closed. You're kind of like a hybrid of a business. Okay, 33 minutes in. Let's see here. Your website URL is good. Product. So for your products, you want to come here and add your products. And of course, you want to have pictures, you want to have price estimates, you want to have descriptions, all that stuff. You can use AI to help you with all that stuff. Services. So you have services, but it's not complete. It's very incomplete. So services. So this is a good list of services. I don't know is this real surcharge? It sounds like you're just kind of throwing keywords in there. I wouldn't do it unless maybe that is something. I don't know. Like I know what a surcharge is. I don't know how that fits as like a service offering. But merchant services, credit card processing, point of sale. So right here, you want to go here, and there's a lot more stuff you can fill out here. You could do from $300 or whatever the price is. Okay, go set up your appointment link. So bookings here, set up the appointment link. Attributes. So the attributes are, if you go here, they've moved everything around. So I hope I'm looking in the right place. Down here. So from this business, are you Asian owned, black owned, blah, 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 LGBT owned, whatever. Just no. If it's no. If it's yes, whatever, just fill it out. Crowd. Are you LGBT friendly? Hopefully you are. If not, probably go out of business, especially in a place like New York. Service options. Do you speak any of these foreign languages? Do you speak sign language? That would be really good because somebody might want to, Google learns about people as they use their device. If somebody's deaf, I'm pretty sure Google probably knows it based on their search history. So if you are sign language friendly, it's going to make sense that Google would display your company first to a deaf person as opposed to other companies who don't say that they are comfortable in fluent in sign language. Just once a month, set a calendar reminder and go through all this stuff because Google's adding fields all the time and it's crazy. And just make sure all this is up to date. Make sure Google it's not something new. Something new that needs to be filled out. Messages. You do have messages set up, so that's good. Photo. So what you want to have, you don't have your cover photo here, and you don't have a building. So I would take pictures of the employees, of the actual, real pictures of these systems, not this stock photography stuff that you probably got off. I'm assuming that's a Clover device. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a Clover device. That's actually in your hands at customer sites. You want to see all that stuff in there. People want to see this stuff in action. And Google does not reward stock imagery, even though it's not stock technically, but it's, I guess mass used imagery. I doubt you took those yourself. So next time you're at a customer site and you install a system, snap a picture of it and throw it up on Google Images. Or Google Business Profile. So this is non-stock, 3 outside. 3 outside your business. You don't have a business. 3 inside. 3 team, before and after. Before and after means if you were doing a roof repair or something. Videos are cool too. Social media links, you have them, but the YouTube one's broken, which is never good. And if you have social media, you just need to use it. If you're not going to use it, just don't list it. But the YouTube one here, you see, it doesn't work. And I know you have a channel because if you go to here, I think we're done with this. Yes, close that. Up top, you have a YouTube link here. So,
send it.
Give him this channel.
Gift cards in bulk can be a nightmare. But what if it could be?
Of course, you want to give him this, right? That should be the URL. Okay, opening date. You don't have opening date. Just go back and put that in there. Call tracking. You're not doing call tracking. Most people don't. It's no big deal. You can if you want. Google Posts, it's something you want to do. Google Posts is something you want to regularly do. Offers. A quick way to get Google for Google Posts is anytime you get a review to just quote it or screenshot it and put that as a Google post, right? People like to see that. Reviews are one of the most critical things you can do. You don't have enough reviews at all. So I have a whole process for it. Let me know if you want it, but you need to get more reviews and you can send people. All you do. So if you go to Norzer, Google, I think that's right. It goes here. It's a redirect. And it takes them right here. And I don't have a lot of reviews because I don't actually need them because I get so many referrals these days. I haven't really had a need to build up my reviews. It'll take you right to where they need to leave a review. So you go here to get the link, ask for reviews. Copy this. You can send them this link, but it would be nicer just to create a redirect from Piggy Bank Processing, Google. And then you'll have one for Yelp. And you'll have one for Facebook, etc. And you need to build up those reviews. Reviews on other third-party sites like Yelp, etc. matter as well. Google takes all that into account. So it's very important as you as a customer is satisfied before the systems break or there's issues, that you get them to leave a review. Now you can even incentivize your employees. Anytime you get a review, you'll give them like a $20 bonus or a $20 gift card or something like that. That's how important this reviews are to local SEO. Ideally, you want to use your keywords and geo information in the reviews if you're comfortable with that client enough to kind of help them write it, you know, quote unquote. That's what you would want to do. I don't know why messages is here again. Oh, it's just set up messages. You can set up auto responses, etc., etc. Do we have photos up here? Am I repeating myself? Social media links, users. Oh, social media links. Okay, users. Just make sure there's not people who have access to the Google Business Profile who don't need it, and it's only me. So obviously, get rid of me after we're done with this. Questions. You want to answer the questions. So if you click on Know This Place and answer the common questions. Now you have stuff here. I would put these on a dedicated page, but here, this is the stuff you want to put. You could put this as autoresponders in your GBP chat, but you want to put these questions as questions in Google Business Profile. And you do that by clicking on Know This Place, or maybe it's just Ask Questions. I can't remember, honestly. I'm getting confused. Okay, Screaming Frog. So let's see what we got left. Probably about halfway done. Probably a little more than halfway done. Since you don't have a large site, there wasn't a lot to scan. So this just scans your site. Now all you have are these few pages, right? A lot of businesses I have that I work with have hundreds of pages. Sometimes thousands, so it's a lot more complex. But since you just have these few pages, let me just see if I can do it this way. So I have to go back and forth. Let's try this. Okay, so everything is indexed. So you can see here. So these are all your pages. All are indexed. There's none that say non-indexable, so that's good. You don't have any mixed content. You don't have any broken links, which is good. That's like your first website in a long time that doesn't have broken links, but it's because you don't have a lot of pages. No redirects are good. Whoops. Whoops. So URLs. So the URLs need to have your keywords. You need to focus on, as you build those landing pages out, to, let's go back here. So these are okay, but this isn't descriptive enough. So what about point of sale system? Same thing for your title. Some of them aren't descriptive. It's like merchant services guide. Maybe it should be like the ultimate merchant services guide, whatever. But as you start building out those landing pages, you need to make sure you put the keyword and the geo, so geography, like the location, in the URL. Meta descriptions, they're good. You have them. I think all of them have a meta description, which is good. But just make sure they're optimized. We went over the headings. You can look at headings here in Screaming Frog, but you can see here they're not that good. Or they're good from like reading it, but not from an SEO perspective. Links. You don't really have enough pages to build up a good linking structure. That's something you need to focus on. Canonicals are good. Images. So the average website is 3 megs. Web page, I'm sorry, is 3 megs. You have some images. They need to be converted to WebP. Ideally, unless it's like a transparent PNG or something, which this one might be. And you can get most things under 100K. For example, this WebP here, which is surprising, is 1.5 meg. So this is just such a large image. I would convert it to what's already at WebP. Let me see what I can do with it real quick. I'll show you exactly the process I follow. And the image name needs to be SEO optimized as well. So, POS system configuration for Italian restaurant .wpb .webp. So, it looks like a Clover thing. So image is probably way too big, first of all. Let's just keep it the same. Let's see how much we can reduce it by just compressing it a bit, save as. So this is paint.net, which supports WebP, and I would name it, Clover System Configuration Italian. Now capitalized probably. I'm just not because my shift key is broken and it's annoying. Italian restaurant. I'm not going to spell it out because I can't spell. Save. And as this pops up, you can change the quality here. You can see here at 30% quality, we got it down to 35K. And the quality looks to be right about the same. So if we go here, looks the same to me. So we got that image down from 1.5 meg to 30K. That's really going to affect loading times on mobile phones and people like in rural locations, especially phones that are like budget to mid-range mobile phones. Because if you have a bunch of images and just a slow loading website in general, what happens is people will bounce from your website before it loads. Google sees that as a signal that your website's not any good, and it'll hurt you in the search rankings. So you want to make sure you optimize these images, give them better image names, and optimize the alt text. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, and so what this means here is any content you have that doesn't have any traffic to it, no backlinks to it, you want to get rid of it. Because Google looks at your entire website when it's determining to rank content you've written, if not. If you have a bunch of trash out there, but you write one really good piece of content, there's not a good likelihood that content's going to rank because the rest of your website isn't useful. Now, you don't really have anything built up yet, and your website's only been around for 3 years, I think it is, maybe 4 years. So you don't have that traction built up yet. So you can plug in here API into Google Analytics, and when you do stuff, you'll be able to go here and see how much traffic each web page is getting. That's something you should monitor. Like that should be every 6 month or every year process. And if the content you have isn't getting any traffic, but you like it because it's building authority, maybe combine it with another piece of content or build upon it, make it better. The content you have now, this is good here. Like it looks real nice, but when you get to your blog content, it's just, I think a lot of it's AI, and it's just all text. There's like literally no images, so it's not good, and it's not personalized. You know what I mean? Well, I guess this actually is. This is I missed this, but it just looks too plain in my opinion. Anyway, moving on. So we'll keep that open in case we need it. So good on you're not doing keyword cannibalization. When you build out those landing pages, you need a YouTube video for each landing page. Now you can use AI tools for this stuff that create these videos for you. It's not something you need to spend a lot of time on. So we're just talking little 15, 20-second promo videos. And this is something you're going to be working on stuff for years. So don't look at all this stuff and say we're never going to get this done. Just focus on your highest traffic area for now, which will be the one closest to you. Let's just say it's Brooklyn. Do that landing page really well. Once you see it start converting, then move to the second one, right? So don't think you need to get all this done within 2 or 3 months because it's not possible. You could just do all your landing pages without videos first to start getting traffic and then go back and do the videos. But ideally you would have a video for every landing page as well. So local competition observations. Yeah. So if you go to, they all kind of, if I remember correctly, up next, you see it has the menu. Okay, credit surcharge is a thing. I don't know what that is, but it is a thing. Reward pay. So ideally, they would have a credit surcharge for Boston, for New York, for Los Angeles, etc. Now, you're getting into dozens and dozens of pages, I get that. But the point is, they have these dedicated places for their solutions and their specifically deli. Because you can imagine somebody is searching for deli POS system services, something like that. Whatever those keywords might be, we'd have to research them and really hone in on it. But to get all that, you go back to that my GPT at the very beginning to get those keywords. Looks like a lot of people use Clover, huh? Interesting. Looks pretty good. It's kind of basic. It's not enough text for my opinion, but it looks okay. Looks like it built with a page builder, which is fine. Make this a little bigger because I can't see it. This EMS corporate does it really well. Same thing with nationwide. Okay, I search for what's on your website. There's not a lot of junk in the search results. Your landing pages are indexed, the ones that you have, which you only have like the blog post. WordPress is configured, no spam, you're not using multiple domains, you haven't matched your competitors' top pages. So that just goes back to what we were just talking about. All these business type pages, solution page. Now you may not offer virtual, whatever. So you don't obviously create that one. But so you want to go and see what GPT tells you, and then look what your competitor's doing, and take all that information and then build out your website. Okay, moving along, geo landing pages. So like I said, example, what is this? I think this goes back to that global merchant, whatever that company's called. I think this is the Boston page. Brooklyn. I misspelled Brooklyn, but you get the idea. So if you search for payment processor company Brooklyn, the reason this one's ranking for it, because look, it's a specific Brooklyn page. Yelp's always going to rank. This company's probably in Brooklyn. Look at this, Brooklyn, New York. I don't see any more specific, but it's very telling. The top result, outranking Yelp, has a dedicated Brooklyn, New York page, and I don't think that's a coincidence at all. If you look at their business profile, they probably say they serve Brooklyn in their business profile, if they even have a business profile. I don't know. Domain age is 4 years old, so you're still relatively new compared to, I'm sure, Clover's not, I think it's pretty new. I never heard about it until about a year ago. So backlinks, yeah, we could go through all that. So with backlinks, you can do guest posting. I don't do any of this stuff. Ideally, you just want to write good content that people, best way to get backlinks is to write content people want to link to. You can look for like New York business directories, get into those. Ask your partners or your clients if you could get a link to your website on their, like, have like a partners page on their website, and you could do it back to them. You could also use help a reporter out, which is now called Syzion or something, right? That's really useful. So, just do this. So, New York business directory. Also, find out where your competitors, just Google for them, find out where they are getting backlinks from. So, are you in this? Are you in this? This? So, all these things here. You could go take your competitors, Toast Lab, throw it into Ahrefs, go to backlinks, and see where they're getting links from, and see if you can get into those. Whole other. We could have a whole other conversation on that. You have a favicon, which is good. Your 404 page is good. You do have sitemaps and robotic step, which is good. I also do security. So I have an agency license for formerly iTheme Security Pro, which is called it's called Secure WP now. This is my video on how to configure iTheme Security Pro. Okay, my video crashed, so we're back. What I'm saying is you definitely need to secure your website. And it's not just WordPress. You need to secure, the whole stack. So it's something I could do for you, but I have an agency license to Secure WP. If you can go buy it on your own, and I think it's like $80 a year, and then you'd have to configure it. With me, if you pay me to do it, then, I give you that plugin for free, and I'll do the configuring for you as part of the gig as well. This is performance. I also have an agency license for WP Rocket. If we did a gig to improve your performance, which I think is critical, once I show you how your website's performing, if you go here, like I said earlier, the average website is 3 meg. Your website is 60 megs here, which is just really, really bad. The average largest contentful pane is 15. We can get into all these metrics if you wanted to, but basically you don't want, this is what Google looks at. LCP, CLS, TBT, red, green, red. So if you look at the waterfall chart here, so this is how long things take to load on your website. So this piece of CSS is taking just a third of a second, which is really good. Where yours starts slowing down is you get to these videos. So ideally you would just embed these from YouTube, or just make them shorter. We'd have to dig in and see exactly what's going on. Wait, dentist. Oh, dentist testimony. Okay, I was thinking like dentist website. But if we go to it, you can see it's this video right here.
Piggy bank processing.
So you want to have creative ways. So perhaps you could have it. I didn't even notice the video on the homepage. Let's go back to the homepage. There's creative ways to do this. Because even though it's loading, you can imagine on a phone how long this might take. And it is still slow. Like you should, if you go to a website, And that's even kind of slow for my taste. It should load pretty instantaneously. I don't know why it took long there. Yours has a lot more of a hitch. But if you go, where are those testimonials? Oh, these right here. So yeah, I didn't actually notice that there was this many. All this stuff is loading and it's slowing things down. So you could put these like as thumbnails, and if somebody clicked on them, then they could, go to the actual video itself. So there's creative ways to do it. I wouldn't put these on here. It's just going to slow things down. Even if the website loads fast for a human, these algorithms are detecting that your website's really, really slow. And it's not a primary ranking factor, Google tells us, but it is a kind of like a tie-breaking factor. So you definitely don't want to have like all these. Maybe if you had like this dude here and, this guy here, I don't know. I'd have to think through it. I'm kind of talking. I'd need to sit back and analyze this and see what's going on. But they're too long too, right? So anyway, that's that. So let's go back up top and click home. Okay, moving along. Service page, you don't have service pages, so we can't judge performance. Is it mobile friendly? It is, but you need to check in Google Search Console as well. Your tags and categories aren't being indexed, so that's good. I don't think you actually have any. Optimized blog content. So really effective blog content for SaaS companies, for B2B companies, is you versus them content and alternative content. So Clover versus your product. Now I think you sell Clover, so that you're not selling your product. So you could do Clover versus Square and write an article on that, right? Or Clover alternatives to Clover, right? That stuff is what gets a lot of search traffic to it. You could also search in Reddit and see what people are searching on. So I have a whole process on this too. If you want to, you can just ask ChatGPT for content ideas, and it'll give you some. Okay, this is another topical authority generator tool. So let's do this. POS systems. So this is your niche, POS systems. So so you would do it for merchant services, you would do it for mobile payments, except all your different keyword niches. So creating it to SEO top of map, you can read about that here. POS software features, POS technology. And then you could take this one, because that's pretty broad, and say, okay, what are some content ideas that will help my website grow based on this keyword? And then paste it here, and it'll give you more specific things to write about. Okay, you're not mentioning your product. Generally, when you're writing your blog content, you want to upsell your products in that content. I didn't see you doing that. I could have overlooked it, but I didn't see it. You're not on TikTok, which is okay. You're just not on it. That's fine. Not on Twitter, which I don't think. Facebook you are, but you want to make sure keep. I don't know what I meant by keep. You need to use it more because Google looks at all this stuff. Open Graph is set up. You are YouTube, but you only have that one video. So how much longer we got? Okay, getting closer and closer. I think we're at 5 minutes of this second video, so I think we're about an hour in. You won't notice any of this because I'm going to combine everything. I forgot to mention, for Google Business Profile, whatever move this over here. You can't see it. Piggy bank. A general rule of thumb is you want to have pages, whatever services you have mentioned in Google Business Profile, you want to have a corresponding landing page, and this same thing could be said for your category, for your product, etc. You want to have these landing pages on your website. You want to mirror those. You go to your Yelp. So I found you on Yelp. Piggy bank payment processing. You want to check all these other little niche directories as well. You want things to be totally consistent. Let me get a sip of my drink here. You get 2 reviews, which is good. You should focus on getting at least 1 review per month from Yelp. But you can see here it says you a bank or a credit union. Excuse me, you're definitely not a bank or a credit union. So go in here and edit this. So just optimize this as well. Now there's videos. I'm not a Yelp expert. But you can add all kinds of fancy buttons like you may have added this one. Excuse me, set up a consultation, etc., etc. So yeah, go into there and look. Basically, just search for your company name and see where you appear on the web. Now, another way to do it is get the free Bright Local software. Just get a free account for a week. Use their audit report. That's going to find all your citations across the web and make sure everything's consistent. If you have some showing addresses, some not, some showing different phone numbers than others, it's going to throw Google off and Bing and all the other search engines. So you want to make sure things are consistent, right? So just go download get the free trial for Bright Local and just use it to run the audit. You'll get a lot of good information. So citations. So you can search for like top payment processor companies, top payment processors in New York, and you'll be able to find out. First of all, maybe you can, if there's blog posts on this, you can maybe be in the list for next year. So could you reach out to NerdWallet? It's going to be hard to get a hold of NerdWallet, but a lot more of the niche stuff. But you can see here, this is places where your competition's probably mentioned. Is it possible to get any? Now, Forbes probably like no, but maybe built in. Maybe that's possible. Go look and see what they're saying on Reddit. Could you respond with your company name here? Now, not in a spammy way, but like in an authentic way. So you need to kind of see where you're being mentioned and make sure you cover that ground. So for like B2B business directories, etc., and get in those places. Okay. Public Square. So you're in New York, so you're probably not very conservative, would be my guess. You're probably more on the liberal side. Public Square is a conservative-based business directory for people who are just, sick of what they deem is like, the liberal insanity. And I'm from Louisiana, so I can definitely say I can relate to that to a degree. If you're even if you're just friendly to conservatives, it would be fine to get in this Public Square directory. You don't have to be like a raging Trump supporter. But I mean, as long as you're just not like if you're going to throw conservatives out, then it's not a directory obviously you would be in. But it has a strong following because people are very strong with their political beliefs, right? So if you're open to strong conservative customers, something you might want to be in that directory. If you're not, if you hate Trump supporters and hate Republicans, then don't do it. I would do it. I can tolerate anybody. My premise is, ideas, do whatever you want as long as you just leave me alone. Like, I'm fine with that. So this goes back into creating the service landing pages. And then mention your services on your homepage with a blur. We have one little sentence, but it needs to be more. You can use AI to do that. So let's just do this real quickly. As you can see, this could go on I could literally talk for 10 hours. It needs to be a lot more than just this. This is actually pretty good here. Maybe I spoke too soon. It's okay. Actually, as long these little ones, I guess, are good. As long as I'm able to click and go to that landing page. Okay, getting close to the end. Geolocation's mentioned in the footer, so you want to say, serving all of New York in the footer. And ideally, you'd mention like the primary cities. Google likes external links. In your content, make sure you include external links. It's basically a sign to Google that you're part of the web. You help people get from place to place. Of course, don't click to like adult sites and, spammy sites. You should always be clicking to sites that are as reputable or more than yours. Your call to action's above the fold, which is good. So this is like a social proof thing. Awards, membership, certifications, media mentions. That's stuff you want to put down here by your testimonials, which are really good here. This stuff is really good. I like how you have the businesses, because this is all reputable stuff. But if you have any of the mentions in local business, trade journals, anything like that, those icons would be be here. You have any case studies, put those there if you do, and that'd be just a menu item. Testimonials are good. Socials on website are good. Phone number at the top right in the footer, make it clickable. So that just means put the phone number here. Unless you intentionally don't want people to call you, and I can understand that. But if you do, make sure it's clickable, and it is clickable on the contact page, which is good. The reason for that is a lot of times people are just looking at your page for the phone, and you want to click it rather than having to keep going back and forth. And if they're older like me, they have a bad memory. By the time they go over to their dial pad, they'll forget what the number was. So this is good here. I would just put it up here to the top right as well. Contacts in the footer, that's good. Address, you don't have an address. Areas we serve in the footer, that kind of goes back. It's kind of a duplicate. Let's get rid of that. Boom. About Us page. You do have an About Us page, but it's not good. It needs people like to know the people they're going to be working with. So there should be like who the founder is, like your name. I think it's Chris Capuano. What your background is. You like dogs. You like the Yankees, whatever. And just not generic stuff like this. It needs to be a lot more personalized. What my clients have a lot of success with, having a Why Us section. So not just about us, but why. So what's your unique selling proposition? What sets you aside from your competition? There's got to be a benefit to working with a New York vendor. I don't know if you're a vendor, but in New York, so that's something I would highlight on. Obviously, also, not obviously, I would highlight that whatever my unique selling proposition is, or my unique selling point, that needs to be something you focus on way up here up top. Because if I go to you guys, and I go to Toast, and I go to Square Up, and I go to Clover, and there's another one, it's not up there anymore. It's all kind of the same thing. But there's got to be something that sets you apart. And what is that? And that's what you need to, that's what's going to get people to choose you over your client, over your competition. And that's what you need to focus. I don't know where here it is. That's what you need to focus on the Why Us page. And you can use AI to help you out once you know what your Why Us is. And it's something you need to focus. Maybe if it's not up here in the initial paragraph text, it needs to be here up close. What makes you different? And giveaway. So if you could give away for all consultations, you give people like just say, I'll give you a free tablet. And then, you give them like a $20, $25 Amazon Fire tablet. A lot of times that will get people in the door. And just buy 10 of them, $250, no big deal. Try it out, see if it works. If it helps convert people, continue to do it. If it doesn't, stop doing it. But that stuff really does work. Is crypto accepted? It's something I would accept. That would be especially right now, that would be a really good niche to be in. I can help you with that if you want. If not, you can, do it yourself. But I think that would help you out tremendously, because you're a business person. So as you know, it's all about finding niches, right? And finding niches and excelling at those niches. None of the others that I saw really emphasize crypto. So if it's something you're comfortable with, it's something I would consider putting on your homepage. You don't have your legal pages, your terms of service disclaimer. You may not want that. I don't know, but it's something I would add. Stock images, you are using them. I would use less of them. Google rewards unique images. Even if you use AI to create them, just don't use stock images. Let me get a sip of drink. So find us on Yelp, Facebook, whatever. You don't have any of that, I would put that. Hours, you don't list your hours, but you don't really have hours, so I get that. FAQ, you do have FAQ, but I would put it up here as a menu item up here. You don't have schema implemented, right? That helps Google understand what the website's about and all the corresponding pages. It's something I would implement it right away. To get people on a mailing list, you always want to have like some kind of clickbaity thing, like a free ebook. 10 things to ask a company before hiring them for a payment processor solution. That sounded horrible, but you get the idea. But also things that drive traffic, like financial templates, invoices, etc., etc. Have a guaranteed badge. That's Google guaranteed. You don't have Google guaranteed because you're not like a carpenter, so that's all good. People like prices. Is that something you could include, or at least a price range on your website when you're going over your solutions? So our services start at $3.99 and go up to more enterprise solutions that go up into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, or whatever the prices may be. Referral bonuses, that's something I would implement. People have a lot of success with that. Set up a Google alert for your company name, because you want to know when your name appears on the web. So if it's positive or negative, you want to be able to respond to it and at least acknowledge it. And if it's, let's say you might be mentioned in a trade journal somewhere. If you're not monitoring the web for that, you may not know about it. So, you need to go into Google. So Google Analytics, make sure it's set up. If not, I can help you with that. Google Search Console, it's the dashboard for Google Search. Make sure you need to go in there, go into the coverage report, and make sure there's no manual actions. You're going to get all kinds of alerts. Make sure all the pages you think are indexed, well, they are because you only have so many, but everything is indexed and showing in the results. But make sure you're monitoring that. You're not in Bing, so make sure you go to Bing Places, which is Microsoft's version of Google Search Console for Bing. Make sure you're in Yahoo Local. Same thing with Apple Maps. Monitor your website in case it goes down. This is kind of, I go over this in my security audit. Well, it's good to know if your website's going down. But when sites get compromised, they generally get taken down as they're being defaced or being abused. So it's good to know. You can use a free service like Uptime Robot, and it'll probe your website every 5 minutes. If it's down, it'll let you know. And then you could use a website like, I can't remember the name of any of them right now, but it takes a screenshot kind of what your website looks like. And if even like 1 pixel changes or 5% of the pixel changes, because meaning it was defaced with racist information or something like that, you'll get an alert for it. Because sometimes your website may be up, but being up may not be the problem. It may be that it got defaced or it got changed and you weren't aware of it. You don't need a Wikipedia page. Use UserBob to have people test your website. You can get 1-minute sessions for $1 each. I do those monthly to see how people are using my site, and I'll often find that my site's actually broken in some places, and I wasn't aware of it. In Specklet, you can record people. You can use different tools, but in Specklet has a free program where you get 100 free sessions per day. At least that's what it was when I signed up for it a long time ago. And you can watch people using your website. And again, you'll see things that are broken. You have live chat, which is good. Use Haro, help a reporter out. I don't know if you're using it, but something that would help out because you can, get mentioned in some pretty high, Bloomberg, Fortune magazine, like high profile magazines. If you help a journalist write an article about a topic you're an expert in. These are really effective, cheap ways to get backlinks, but also advertise. Local churches, clubs, schools, little leagues, right? This is so you don't have to. Nobody can afford advertising in the New York Post and the New York Times, right? But these are like, go to look at your church's websites. Because the backlinks you want to focus on are backlinks that are specific, related to your industry, obviously like financial services type stuff, and also specific to your geography, right? So a church obviously isn't a financial company, but it is in that local geography. So if you could pay a church, $5 to $10, some of them will do it for free even because they're just good people, and get a link on their website. So just reach out for them. It's churches near me and ask them what are their rates. Even if you're comfortable, and just what you do is just pay whatever it is for 6 months. You do a UTM campaign so you can see the links coming from it. And is it increasing sales or isn't it? You're not going to know until you do it. Now, even if you don't get if you're not getting any clicks, maybe your revenue goes up because that one backlink did something in Google's system, and that's helping you. Just those new backlinks coming in are helping you rank higher. So with SEO, I guess just like anything else, there's never an end game. It's always trying things. Does it work? Okay, let's improve on it. If it doesn't work, maybe we will either improve on it or just stop doing it. And then tracking results. I can share my spreadsheet with you. I like to check things once a month. If things aren't going in the right direction, there's no need to keep doing what you're doing because you're just wasting your time. This is a note from earlier. Let me get rid of this. So I can share that spreadsheet with you if you want. Let me know. I'd be happy to do that. But I don't want to confuse you even more, overwhelm you even more if it's not something you're interested in. But bottom line, you want to track basic metrics, performance, clicks, keywords, stuff month to month, people that have clicked your business in Google Business Profile, all that stuff, at least once a month, right? If you do it once a week, it's like too much because Google's going to fluctuate things naturally week to week, day to day even, to see what's working and what's not. But month to month will give you a good idea of what's going on. So that's it. I hope this helped. Again, if you need help with securing your website, let me know. I can do that. Your performance, either you need to do it or somebody needs to do it, with making sure it, you can't have a 30 meg website. It's just way, way too big. You need to get it to about 3, even 5 megs would be okay, I guess. If you want to get to about 3 megs. If you need help with any of that, let me know, or anything else, let me know. But I hope you found it useful. I think that's it. Yeah. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I think we're good. So have a good day. See ya. Thank you.